In this video, I want to talk about how Choreo makes testing uh, easy with the help of AI. So before we dive into the testing portion, I have the service here locally. So this is a service about payments that has three different REST resources. So we can visualize this. Click on this. If you go to services, you can see there are three different resources available: users, account details, payments. And then this is driven through, it is not connected to a database. It's driven through data that's stored in memory when the program starts. So the behavior of how you go about testing this would be, let's try to, and then go run and debug. Start the debug process. When it starts, let's look at this invoking these three different resources. So now the application is running. So let's go to our REST requests back here, and then we'll send a request to users. And users is we get a response saying, okay, this is a JSON message. There's a user ID, name, and an account number. And then account details resource is basically you need to pass an account ID that you get by calling to users resource. Let's do that. And then this REST resource returns a message saying this is the user ID and this is the account ID for the user, the type of the account, and the account balance. If you want to do a payment transaction, then we need to send a post request with the user ID, account ID, and the action we want, and the amount that we want to either deposit or withdraw. So if you deposit 50 here, so if you send the request, it returns a successful response. Now, when we look at the account details, you can see the balance now has a 50 added to it. That's how you go about testing like an API. You need to figure out all this information, and then you need to devise a test script, and then maybe something like a Postman, and then create a script, and then you can run that headless using Newman. But when you move this program to Choreo, so I've created the component here, and then I've deployed it to my development environment, so it's now running. So if you go to the console, test console, you can see the same same REST resources are there, and then you can invoke the test get users. Let's try it out, and we get a response back. This is so you can carry out the usual testing this way. But we also have in the platform called this API chat. So let's click on that. So this is a completely AI driven a testing framework, and then you can ask questions using natural language, and then it'll respond. Like let's try out a few commands here, a few queries here. Let's say get all users, see what it does. And then sure enough, we have the users, right? So we can also do complex queries as well. So let's do something like deposit 50 to John's account. Let's see what it does. So first it executes the user's resource, and then get the account details, and then invoke the payment details, and then say 50 has been successfully deposited to John's account. Now if you go and look at the balance, we can say get me the account of John. Now we can see the 50 is being added to John's account. So that's how Choreo's AI features, especially for testing, makes life easy for testers.